Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to continue attacks on Gaza, a day after Israeli forces bombed a high-rise apartment block in central Gaza City, packed with dozens of families. The incident was the first time Israeli forces brought down such a large residential building and has already been dubbed Gaza's 9/11. The strike came as peace talks between Hamas and Israel remain stalled. Telesur's Gaza correspondent Noor Harazin has more.
Since early Saturday morning in Gaza, the Israeli warplanes launched several attacks on the Gaza Strip. There was also tanks shelling in eastern Rafah and in eastern Khan Yunis. At least 5 Palestinians were killed. 2 of them were killed when the Israeli warplanes targeted a motorcycle. The other 3 were killed when the Israeli warplanes targeted a mosque in Nusayrat camp in middle Gaza Strip. The situation right now in the Gaza Strip is calm. People are out in the street despite the fact that there is no truce, there is no ceasefire, but they are trying to maintain supplying their homes with food and bread and water as much as they can. About the talks in Egypt, it's still unclear about what's happening in Egypt. The people on the ground and Palestinian people are waiting for a statement from the Palestinian delegation in Cairo.
2 earthquakes have hit Iceland's Bardarbunga volcano, amid concerns an eruption could be imminent. The area around the volcano has already been evacuated, and a no-fly zone imposed by Icelandic authorities, though all of Iceland's airports remain open. Volcanic activity at Bardarbunga has sparked fears of a repeat of the 2010 eruption of a different Icelandic volcano, which disrupted air traffic across Europe.
The Syrian government has claimed a major victory over the Islamic State group after beating back a large-scale assault on a key military airbase near the Islamic State stronghold Raqqa on Saturday. At least 70 Islamic State fighters are believed to have been killed before the militants retreated. Syrian state media have reported the airbase now remains firmly in the hands of government forces. The airbase is one of the few key military sites still held by the Syrian army near Raqqa.
Iran's Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif began a 2-day visit to Iraq today and is expected to hold talks in Baghdad on combating the Islamic State group, which has seized swaths of both Iraq and Syria. The visit comes during a major Iraqi offensive against the Islamic State. Zarif has pledged to stand by Iraq in the fight against the Islamic State and urged Iraq's disparate political factions to unite against the militants.
These are the everyday staples which are currently being sold at the Venezuelan government's discount markets known as mercals, where citizens can buy everything from flour and milk to traditional Venezuelan sweets at government-subsidised prices. Most citizens take advantage of the low prices in order to feed their families. However, recent years have witnessed a jump in the sale of these goods on the black market at a much higher cost.
There are lots of people who take advantage of these opportunities to resell to the poor, when maybe you can't afford transport. There are people who take advantage to resell in their own neighborhood. They take advantage. It shouldn't be happening.
Yet it is not just government products which are ending up on the black market. Recent reports published by the government estimate that the country is currently losing 40% of its food imports to gangs who are smuggling products over the border to Colombia, where they sell at a much higher price. It is a situation which has led the Venezuelan government to launch an offensive against contraband operations at its border, as well as to announce the implementation of a biometric system for selling food in shops across the country.
The biometric system that we are designing is going to be exactly the same. What is it going to allow us to do? The biometric system is not made to damage families, but rather to help them.
Citizens in Venezuela currently use a biometric system to vote in the country's elections, using high-tech machines which automatically recognise their fingerprints. The new system for food purchases will use the same technology and mean that those buying food in bulk in order to sell it on the black market will be more easily identifiable.
I support it, and so do the majority of sane people. It's logical. It's also a way of building socialism. Capitalism no longer has a future.
Here in the working class district of Gadia, residents say that the hoarded food products are also being sold on at 2 to 3 times the selling price by vendors on the street.
If they sell it, it's because there are people who need it, because we need these things. We need products like milk. I'd said to myself, I'm not paying 200 bolivars for some milk when it should cost 50, but we have needs. If I have a granddaughter and she needs her milk, I have to pay 200 bolivars. What else can I do? I would genuinely love for there to be a compulsory retail price for things and for there to be price controls on everything.
The government has confirmed that it hopes to have the new system installed within all supermarkets in the country over the next 90 days. Smuggling, hoarding and speculation are all problems in Venezuela that are having a real impact on citizens' lives. The majority of the people that we've spoken to today state that they support the new biometric system, provided that it begins to address some of these issues. Rachel Boudreau, Telesur, Caracas, Venezuela.
Elderly Bolivians can apply to receive Dignity Voucher social transfers to help them make ends meet. The monthly payment of 250 bolivianos, roughly $36 is one of a number of bonos or social cash transfers offered by the Bolivian government seeking to cut back on extreme poverty.
The day we receive the payments really helps a lot in covering our expenses, at least with medicines and food, the essentials.
The various social transfer programs are funded by Bolivia's nationalized natural gas reserves and are an important component of the country's new economic model.
The model has to resolve a heritage that we have from the neoliberalism model, which is the poverty and the exclusion and the inequalities that we had. So in order to do that, we have instruments as these social transfers we have. We have many social transfers that not only they look for a new social indicator to improve social indicators, but also to make the redistribution of income among people in order to increase the internal demand, in order to better lives for the Bolivian people.
The Bolivian Congress recently approved an end-of-the-year bonus of 200 bolivianos for recipients of the Dignity Program. Reporting from La Paz, this is David Doherty with Telesur.
Facts that have marked the course of history. Productions designed in the English language and made for the English-speaking world. This is Documentary. Watch it on telesur.net/English. Telesur, wherever the news, you'll be there.